In this video, we will be looking at student completion options. Student completion options are used by instructors to help set the flow of the course. It can help make sure that students complete things in order or that they complete things to a certain criteria. In order to set student completion options, you need to go over here to the gear shift, or the little gear, and click on this down arrow. That'll bring up some options, and you'll see student completion is one of them. If I click on that, I'm given two choices here. I can click in this box and require that students complete my requirements in order, or I can leave this unchecked and just set certain requirements per assignment. Let's go ahead and add a requirement. Notice that when I click on this, my first item comes up in the folder, which was assessments and their role in online instruction. I can choose any of these options, but let's go ahead and stay with the first one. This is just a lesson page, so all I need you to do is view this item before you can move on. Notice if I click on it, there aren't any other choices because it is just a page. Let's add another requirement. This time I'll click on the quick check. Now we have an assessment, and you'll notice that my options have increased. I can require that you just view the item, that you post a comment or reply, make a submission, or score at least. If I click on that, I can see how many points this assignment is worth. If I want you to be proficient before you move on, I'll put a 3 in here, meaning you need to earn a 3 out of 4 before you can move on. If I have this box up here checked, the student completion rules will definitely not let you move on to the next assignment until you've earned a 3 out of 4. If this box is left unchecked, this assignment will still let you move on to the next one, but it won't be green. You won't have a green check mark saying that you've completed it. So it'll alert you to the fact that you need to go back and redo this assignment. Let's do a couple more requirements. In this next one, we have an assignment page. All I need you to do is view that. And then if I do a quick check, notice now that this is an assignment. My options here are very similar to my options for my quiz or my test. You can view, post a comment, make a submission, or score at least a certain amount. This time, I just want you to make a submission. Let's go ahead and add a couple more. Let's do one for discussion. When I put in the assessment, my quick check, notice that now I only have 3 choices. I can have the student view the item, post a comment or reply, or score at least a certain amount. Remember that with discussions, you're not actually submitting assignments like we do with the quick check, or in this case, we are not actually making the submission. We are posting a comment with a discussion. So maybe I just want you to post it. I could also have you score at least a certain amount. Maybe on this one, I just really only need you to score a 2. When you're finished, decide, do you want the student to have to complete these in order to move on? Or do you just want to make sure that they receive a check when they meet the requirement? So let's look at what that looks like. Out here, notice that now there's a check mark and it says must complete. That will alert you and the students to the fact that there are student rules inside of this folder. Clicking on this folder, you can see what the rules are. Notice that this one just says must view. This one says must score at least 3. And then must view, must make a submission, etc. When the student does what they're supposed to do, this check mark will turn green, and then they know that they've completed this to your satisfaction. Student completion rules are very handy for the students. It helps them keep track of what they've finished and where they need to go. Remember, they have multiple courses up here to complete, not just yours, and they sometimes lose track of where they finished. So, consider student completion rules when you're finalizing your course each week. Do you want to set these, or do you want to leave them off? One final thing to keep in mind when you're setting student completion rules is that it deletes all the dates from your assignments. This requires you to go into your gradebook and do a bulk edit, as discussed in a previous video. When you go in, you can go to the cog, click on bulk edit, and then you can put in individual due dates for all of your assignments in this area. As a result, It is often good practice to first set up your assignments, your quizzes, your discussions, set your student completion, and then finally, before publishing your unit for the week, go into gradebook, bulk edit, and then add your due dates. And this concludes our lesson today on student completion rules.